it's Erica, also known as Story of Rico over on Instagram. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal tips and tricks for when you feel burnt out. It is so unbelievably easy to feel burnt out and just feel unmotivated when you work for yourself. I feel like that's a struggle that all resellers go through, because when you don't have someone that's telling you what to do, when you're the person in charge of your entire schedule, it's very easy to just be lazy and not want to work. So I thought I would share my tips and tricks with you guys for how to get motivated again, how to get working again, and to just get out of that slump. I'm so excited to be back filming in my normal YouTube setup again. Veronica is finally doing so much better. She's up and walking, cooking, cleaning, helping, doing all the normal things that she does again. And as happy as I am for her, I'm also very happy for me because it means I get to film here again, which I love. So without further ado, let's get into the tips on how to get out of a reselling slump. So my first tip is to switch things up. Oftentimes when you get into a slump, or at least when I get into a slump, it's because things are just getting a little bit boring, things are too bland, and I'm just not motivated with where I am right now. I'd say the number one thing that I get unmotivated to do is probably share my closet, which is kind of an important part of Poshmark, so it's not very good when I get unmotivated to do that. So if you get unmotivated to share your listings, maybe try sharing some other people's listings, just to get you back into like the swing of sharing and get you kind of motivated by seeing other people's beautiful listings. If you're unmotivated to source, maybe try switching things up and going sourcing in a new town or a new store or just a new type of area. Maybe try retail arbitrage if you're used to thrifting, or try thrifting if you're used to RA. If you're unmotivated to photograph, then I suggest trying maybe going sourcing and picking up a few really new exciting items and then mixing in the old kind of boring stuff that you haven't listed yet with the new items. That way it gets you excited and motivated to photograph again. And if you're unmotivated to list, then remind yourself, nobody can purchase your item if it's not listed. My second tip is to set up goals and reward yourself when you meet those goals. Some days when I'm feeling really unmotivated or I just don't really want to work, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to list 10 items today, and if I can list those 10 items, then tonight I'll give myself a manicure. Try to think of things that you really enjoy doing, or like a treat that you really like, and make yourself a goal. And if you meet that goal, or meet all the goals that you had for yourself for the day, you're allowed to have that treat at the end of the day. Another tip that I find really fun is to try listening to music while you work, especially if you don't usually listen to music while you work. It really helps me, at least, to be motivated to get moving and to get stuff done, and it's just a lot more enjoyable when you have music to listen to. Another thing that I like to do that's very similar to that is to listen to motivational podcasts. I know that a lot of people don't like motivational podcasts because they're kind of sappy, they're kind of not the best sometimes, but if that's your thing, then try listening to some podcasts that'll really get you motivated to get going again. Some that I really like listening to are Rachel Hollis. I'm sure you've heard of her. I really like listening to the What She Said podcast. They oftentimes have young female entrepreneurs come on and tell their stories of how they became so successful, and I feel like those really help me to get motivated, because it's like, wow, I want to be successful like them, so I'm gonna actually get off my butt and get some work done. Even if you are motivated to work, another thing I highly suggest you listen to is the #GirlBoss audiobook. I listened to that audiobook and oh my gosh, I was so motivated the entire time I was listening to it. It's also just really funny and really enjoyable. I did listen to it on Audible instead of reading it, which I usually would read it, but I listened to it instead so that I could work while listening to it, and it was so helpful to hear everything that she had to say. If you do not know what Girl Boss is, it is a book about how Sophia Amoruso, the creator of Nasty Gal, came to be, how she built her business, and she literally started from nothing. So it's really motivational and really entertaining to listen to how she built her empire. But yeah, try listening to something motivational, something that'll get you excited to get working again, and just that'll get you on your feet. My next tip is to take a day off. Sometimes when you're in a slump, you're like kind of working but kind of not, so you're only getting like 1 or 2 things done, and that's really not very helpful. So when I'm feeling super unmotivated to work, I kind of just take an entire day off and tell myself, I'm gonna enjoy myself doing whatever I like today, and tomorrow I'm going to get stuff done. I'm gonna go full swing and actually get a lot of work done. So it's really helpful to just take a nice day off, relax, enjoy yourself, and to just kind of recharge and refocus on yourself. That way you can really get motivated to work on your business the next day. I know I kind of already mentioned this, but still, one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling very unmotivated is to go sourcing. Thrifting is like my one true love. It is my favorite thing to do in the entire world. So going sourcing really helps me to get excited, especially because you have new stuff to list and to work on. So maybe try going sourcing if you're feeling very unmotivated to get any work done, because it kind of just refreshes you and gives you kind of a new start. My next tip is to plan your day. This is something I have been doing every single day of January, so I'm hoping to do it every day of 2019. I feel like so far in 2019, I have been like a million times more productive than I was in the entire year of 2018. I've also just been really very happy in general this year, and I think it's because I'm really hustling, really working, but not overworking myself. And the way I've been doing that is by planning my day every single day. That way I know what I'm doing that day. I'm not just lounging around like, oh, maybe I'll do this, but maybe I won't. So every single night I will go onto the app Wunderlist. I mentioned it in my favorite apps for resellers video. I'll link that video down below if you did not watch that, but it's one of my favorite apps in my phone. It's Wunderlist. It is free to download on Apple and Android, and it's basically a super fun customizable checklist app where I make my to-do list for every single day. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my checklists. I usually like to make them pretty long. I like to fit as much as I can into that checklist because I'm really motivated to check everything off. I don't know why. So whether you're going to plan out your day on paper or in an app, I highly recommend planning out your day, setting goals, and writing down everything that you want to get done. That way you don't have any chance to forget things. You can just get everything done, and it's really, really helpful, for me at least, to have a checklist. I also have the attention span of a goldfish, so literally having a checklist has saved my butt so far in January. And while you're planning your day, plan some time for you. Make sure you mark down in your checklist to have time to pamper yourself, to enjoy yourself, to read that book you've been wanting to read, to take a bath, just enjoy yourself. So schedule your day. It really, really helps to keep you working and motivated. My next step is to watch reseller videos. There are so many resellers here on YouTube. I'll try to link a few down below because I'm really bad at remembering things off the top of my head. Again, attention span of a goldfish. But for myself, when I'm feeling kind of like I don't really want to keep on doing this right now, I'd rather just sit here and do nothing, I like to watch videos of other resellers either thrifting or sharing their hauls or just doing the things that you have to do as a reseller, and it really helps me to want to get up and working again. Now, sometimes this can be really counterproductive. If you're the type of person who gets very down on yourself very easily, who gets kind of almost unmotivated by seeing other people being so successful, and it makes you think like, wow, I'm never gonna get there. Don't think that, by the way. But if you are that type of person, then do not watch reseller videos, because seeing other people being very successful sometimes does have a negative effect on me. So depending on the type of person you are, sometimes watching reseller videos on YouTube or on Instagram can be really, really helpful to help you get motivated to get working. And my last step to getting motivated and getting out of your reseller slump is to refocus on your why. If you do not have a why yet, then you probably should go make one. But refocus on why you're reselling. Are you reselling so that you can pay off your student loans? Are you reselling because it's your full-time job and that's how you make a living? Are you reselling so you can save up for something so that you can pay for a certain thing? Refocus on what your why is and remember why you're doing this. For myself, especially if I'm really trying to work toward a very specific goal of something that I want to save up for by the end of the month or so, I definitely like to remind myself of that thing because it makes me think like, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to save up and buy that thing at the end of the month if I don't work now and actually make money. So it's really important to remember and refocus on your why and just to get yourself motivated again for why you're doing this. And I know a lot of people who are like full-time sellers and they've been like, my why is I have kids to feed and bills to pay. So that's not a bad why. But just making sure that you're working toward your goals and that you're just focusing on the reason that you're doing this in the first place can be really, really helpful in getting you productive again. Those are all the tips that I have for you guys for today. I hope you found some of them helpful. Leave a comment down below letting me know some of your tips for getting out of a reseller slump. I'm sure that we can all definitely use all the advice we can get. Also, comment your Poshmark closet name down below so that I can follow you guys over there. Let me know your Instagram handles, your Poshmark handles. That way we can be friends on social media as well. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.